Today we're going to be talking about the possible arrival of Nico Williams to Barcelona, how he's going to fit in the Hansi Flick system also, who is going to get benched, how the lineup is going to look, and how does he compare to other possible wingers. And also there's going to be some issues for Hansi Flick managing game time. Now, what I mean by managing the game time, in my opinion, that's the best lineup that Barcelona can play next season. The reason for that is really simple, actually. First of all, there's zero chance that if Williams or whoever else gets signed is going to stay on the bench and Rafinha is going to play on the left wing. Now, a lot of people are going to see this and say, where's Lewandowski? I'll get to this later. But for now, Juan Garcia obviously on the goalkeeping as a starting goalkeeper, fuck Ter Stegen. Then you have, the rest is pretty much the same, right? Balde, Martinez, De Jong, Pedri, the same. The thing is, a lot of people were talking about something like this, like, for instance, Rafinha plays here as a number 10, and then you have Lewandowski playing as the classic number 9. The issue with that is two, actually. First of all, if you're playing Rafinha as a number 10, when does Solmo get to play? And then when does Fermin get to play? And again, where does Gavi get to play? Now, you could make the case that Gavi could easily play alongside with Pedri or De Jong if Pedri's benched, but the thing is, then you have Casado. When does Casado play? Apparently, Bernal is back from the injury and he's training with the first team. When does Bernal play? So you have so many players for these specific positions, and you have to manage the game time. Now, I don't think Lewandowski should be a starter anymore. The reason for that is pretty simple, bro. He approaches 37. He's not as fast as he used to be. His stamina is not as huge as it used to be. You could easily see a lot of issues with the build-up when Lewandowski wasn't scoring. Like if this brother doesn't score, he doesn't really do anything. I mean, he's pressing. He's good with the position. He helps with the. He attracts a lot of defenders, so he makes space for other players. His position is still elite, and his killeristic for scoring goal is still there. But the thing is, if he doesn't score, he doesn't really do much. That's not me disrespecting Lewandowski. It's something you can see in every game. That when Lewandowski didn't score until the 60 or 70 minute mark, he wasn't really doing that much. So I think, in my opinion, you put Rafinha around there, and then, Lewandowski, Dani Olmo here. I mean, I think that's... And then Rafinha doesn't play as a poacher like Lewandowski is playing. Because if you remember when Lewandowski was injured, Ferran Torres was there because of his speed and his stamina, his pressing ability. You could see a lot of difference compared to Lewandowski. And he was scoring as well. Now, the thing is with Rafinha, he can play as a false number 9. He can drop a bit lower, help with the build-up. He can obviously make the runs inside and whatnot. And because of his age, obviously, and his ability, I think he's much better player this season than Lewandowski. He obviously scored a lot of goals, a lot of assists. So he has proven himself that he will go as far as he can possibly to score and to help with the team. Now, that's my favorite lineup. I think eventually this is going to be the starting lineup for Barcelona. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people do prefer Lewandowski. But like I said, even though Lewandowski is an elite poacher, I don't think he has the qualities at this age that Rafinha has. Him being 29 or 28, around something like that. It's just like age. You can bring all the experience in the world. For instance, Ronaldo, his experience, right? But he's 40. That's why he doesn't play in the biggest clubs in an elite level. Moving up, let's discuss how, Nico Williams compares to other wingers. Obviously, if we get Nico Williams, it's a great sign. And that's because, he's already agreed to lower his wage for Barcelona. He has been playing for a Liga for so long, so he doesn't really need to adapt. He's really fast. His flair is insane. He even tracks back. Defensively, he's good as well. So he's the best signed by far. He has already chemistry with other Spanish international, with the likes of Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, Olmo. So it's really important to already have some kind of chemistry between the players. And NIco Williams obviously has. Second on the list, as a great sign, is Lookman. Obviously, not just because of his insane skill and how he has played in Atalanta and how much he has involved in Atalanta, but of his relatively low cost. From reports that I have been seeing, Atalanta considering selling him for around 30 million, which for a player of this caliber, it's insane. It's actually insane. Then I have Rashford. The only reason I have put him as a good sign is because it's going to be the form of a loan with an optional future fee, which is around 40 million, I think. And that's a good thing because you get to, try the player first before spending any real money. And I think a part of his wages are going to be covered by Manchester United, or he's willing to take a pay cut to play for Barcelona. Apart from that, he's really fast as well. I think he has elite attributes, but he wasn't in good form in Manchester United under Ten Hag or Ruben Amorim. But I'm not sure that's entirely his fault because the atmosphere in the club was said so as well. So how much, what kind of psychology can you go out and perform in the pitch? Nevertheless, I think that under Hansi Flick, he can explode and showcase his potential skill. But I still think he's inferior to Lookman and NIco Williams especially. Now, as decent sign, I have put Rafa Leao because he's still expensive, man. He's like 75 million expensive. And he's, a lot of reports say he's inconsistent, he's a bit lazy. His decision-making in the final third is a bit questionable, but apart from that, I think Hansi Flick can help him evolve as a player and fix some of his weaknesses in his play style because Leao has a lot of good attributes like his dribbling skill, his pace, his acceleration, his explosiveness. Oh man, they're out of the world. Like he has the talent, but I think he needs some improvements in some aspects of his game. But I really like Leao. Like I think he's a fantastic player. Then as a decent sign, I have Ivan Perisic, and the reason for that is because obviously he's a free transfer. That means we are not required to pay any money, and probably his wage isn't going to be that high, isn't going to break bank, right? He brings a lot of experience. He's 37. He has played a bunch of games, so his experience is priceless. The thing is that, the same thing with Lewandowski. His acceleration is not that good as it used to be. His pace, his strength, they probably all have diminished by something called age, and that's the natural process of things. But he could be a really good sub or, a good rotational option, but I still think we should look for more impactful players that can play the full 90 minutes and can actually make a difference, like Williams or the other fellas that I have there. Now, last one, we have Luis Diaz. Now, I'm not sure what kind of prophecy Deco has read. I'm not sure what kind of dream he had with Luis Diaz, but spending around 60 million for a player that even though he's elite, he has played in the highest levels, he's at around 29. So making an investment where you're going to see natural decline, I don't think that makes much sense, man. Why not go for Lookman, for instance, and maybe strengthen your squad in other areas as well for the same amount of money? There was some speculation that Liverpool were asking around 80 million for Luis Diaz, but there's zero chance Barcelona are going to give 80 million for Luis Diaz. I think the maximum they said they are willing to go, are 60 million. But there's a blessing in disguise here because Liverpool reportedly said they are not willing to part ways with Luis Diaz, so that's good for us. Realistically speaking, the signings that we are going to get is probably NIco Williams, then Lookman, then Perisic, right? That's my ranking. That's how NIco Williams compares to other wingers that have been linked with Barcelona before. If you disagree with the order, feel free to let me know. But I think it's a pretty reasonable, ranking based on the amount of money they require and their skill level. Okay, see you guys in the comment section.